true current affair story that's not technically taking its current affair yet.
Yet. So you got an exclusive right here of a true story that sounds so whack that you'd think it was bullcrap, but it's not. Bullcrap to us, but it's the truth.
Been planning this trip around Australia for years now, but we actually got to the point where we packed up our house, we got it ready for rental.
This is all at the end of last year.
Yeah, so end of December. Head off on the road 27th of December, hoping to go travelling only a few days later.
To travel Australia full time. That's our plan.
In our fifth wheeler.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes up the road, the car started losing power, and we had to pull over, and there was even smoke coming out of the transmission. Anyway, the truck got picked up, what was it, a couple of days later? Or?
Yeah, anyway, got the truck picked up from where we ended up staying on a friend's property and taken to the mechanic. We wanted to obviously get back on the road as soon as possible. He was looking around for second-hand rebuilt transmissions or second-hand transmissions, or to be able to rebuild our one. And he finally got back to us and let us know that he could get it rebuilt, and for however much it was going to cost. We said, yep, go for it. He said it'll take about 2 weeks. We were like, yeah, that's pretty good. Wasn't expecting it to be that quick. Yeah, so it got to the 3rd week of Jan. The transmission had got back from the transmission rebuild company back to the mechanic shop. He's ready to install it until some parts that were still needed to go on the outside of the transmission got delivered, and they were the wrong parts. So that delayed things. Thought these things happen, and what do? So waited for the new parts to come, which took about another week or 2 weeks. And he was telling us even back then, yeah, the parts should be in this day. Would ring up that day. No, the parts aren't in. So we're an idiot for believing him, sort of thing. And time will tell through this story why we were idiots believing him.
And not to mention, we had to call up
every time
for
any information.
To suck any information out.
Yeah.
So nothing.
The only call I got off him
wasn't it?
Was when he knew what he had quotes for me for getting the transmission rebuilt and all of that at the start. Anything after that, not a peep out of him. It was all us chasing him for information. Anyway, as time went on, he got the parts, put the transmission in, took it for a test drive, and in his words, it went boom. And he was doing about 90 k's, he said, and gave it some acceleration to fully test the transmission, and it went boom, and then all he had was first gear and reverse. He said it might be, when he spoke to us about it, he said, it could be just something very small that needs tightening or whatever, not to panic, sort of thing. And once they take it up on the hoist again and check it all out, then they'll know for sure. I went to a friend of his that was supposed to be good with transmissions.
And that took another
it took
week
and a half for him to
it.
even look at it.
Yeah.
So now we're around the 6 week mark instead of 2-3 weeks. And then he finally looked at it, and then he said, no, the torque converter's stuffed, and a few other things that went wrong with it. It has to be sent back to the transmission place to be rebuilt, and here's another $3,500 that we're going to charge you for doing the torque converter now.
Yeah, but he just went ahead. There's
no communication with us.
There's no like, oh, is that okay?
He just told the transmission place to go ahead with it, and he didn't know if we've got the money or not. He just told them to go ahead. We want it fixed, but we also want to be consulted with this sort of thing, of course. as anyone would, 3.5 grand.
So you put it upon himself just to on our behalf, without consulting, just to do it.
Yeah, and then so then it was there. We're going to miss so much of our story on here, but you'll get this in a nutshell.
It's like 3 months packed into like 15 minutes.
Not even, yeah.
Or whatever.
However long this goes for. It's, yeah, so then there's time and time again where parts were sent that were wrong, and the transmission's getting sent back and forth. And every time we'd ring on the day that he said that things would be in and done and ready and whatever the case may be, I'd be the idiot for ringing him up and believing him that that's the date that everything would be done or things would be in or the next part of whatever was going on was ready to happen. So yeah, we're the idiots for believing him and getting told when things would be ready or the next phase was going to happen when we built. Sorry?
Of course, our hopes were getting up every time.
Up and down, up and down, up and down.
And then full disappointment.
Yeah. Then the last thing was he got the transmission back again. This is probably a month ago now, isn't it?
No, more.
A month.
Month and a half.
When he got the transmission the second time.
Yeah, about a month and a half.
Has it been that long? Okay. Anyway, so I got the transmission back again. I'm getting eaten by mozzies, that's why I'm fidgeting all over the joint.
They never get me.
It's getting to Sunday. I love my blood, not hers. So then the transmission came and he went to fit it, and there's a thing in it called a flex plate. Because they put a different torque converter in it, a heavy duty one, over what the type that was in it, a heavier duty one.
Sorry, that was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it probably was longer than 3 weeks ago, because then had to order a new flex plate. So that had to come from down bottom of Australia up to the mid-north coast of New South Wales and by courier.
What about the truck when the transmission was coming back and the truck, you know, they were saying it went Sydney and missed a stop and all that.
Oh, that's right. Back up a bit, before the transmission even got to us, it left the transmission place and it took about a week and a half for it to get a 4-hour drive because it just went to different depots, Sydney, Tamworth, like all over the place. Missed the stop. I was sitting at a changeover place and I didn't go on the next truck and all these things. And then finally got the transmission and you realise the wrong flex plate for the transmission to go to the bolt up to the engine. So I had to get that. That took a week and a half or something to arrive. But before that happened, we were like, how many things can go wrong? And I'm saying to the mechanic before the flex plate issue happened, is there anything else that can possibly go wrong? And he's like, no. I've checked over everything, double checked over everything. Everything's right. Once we've got the flex plate, be in, this, that. Then what happens next? The mechanic ends up in hospital. Right? Sad that he's in hospital for him, but with everything that's happened up till now, it's like, this is Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah. And that's how it sort of feels with all this. So he's been in hospital now for about 2.5 weeks. He's fine health-wise, as far as we're aware, from what we've been told. It's just he's under observation.
He's not contactable.
He's had his phone off. He gets messages when he puts his phone on because you can see that they're being read, and lucky to get a reply off him. He told us the last update we had was a week and a half ago that he's going to get some other boys, mechanics, to finish the job while he's in hospital. It was supposed to be finished last Friday. Today's Sunday. We haven't even heard a peep from him. We spoke to his daughter last week, who was working in the office there, and she said she doesn't even know anything about that, and no one's been in there. So
We don't even know if the flex plate's right because no one can have a look at it to see if it's the right one that's been sent. So that's even still there.
So, what else could go wrong? Right.
Wait for it.
So because we're not hearing anything off him, all the things that have gone wrong time and time again, how many things can go wrong for one person? Of course it could happen, but it's just highly unlikely. So, and another thing that's made things very, you know, you can't really trust what he's saying is when you ask who's the company that rebuilt the transmission. He's like, oh, I'm not telling you that. Like, why not? It's our transmission, want to know who's rebuilt it. It's like, oh no, I'm not telling you that. Like, okay, alarm bells.
Yep, it's all been very suspicious.
Yeah, so then I rang Fair Trading to see what Fair Trading New South Wales, see what we've got to do. Get some guidance, because enough's enough. You've been very patient. It's been 3 months, 2 weeks or something. Probably a lot patient than most. And they've done some searches on him and everything, and his mechanic's business license ran out last year. And he doesn't have a license, he's not a licensed mechanic himself. Even though it's a proper shop, he's got a parts shop, parts division there, everything. All looks legit, and I'm sure it is legit. I'm sure he knows what he's doing as a mechanic. Well, I think he does, I hope he does. But he's obviously not a qualified mechanic, he's just learnt on the job over the years, and he looks like he's in his late 50s, early 60s or something. But anyway, the problem now is because he's not licensed, that voids any warranty on the work that he does.
He can't actually finish the job now.
He's not allowed to touch the job now. So Fair Trading has told us to put an official complaint in, and we've sent him an email saying that this has come to our attention and for him not to do it, and to organise a licensed mechanic to do it that can sign off on it with a warranty, everything. And we're holding off putting a what would you call it, complaint in, because we know that could really wreck his life. And I don't wish that on anyone, even though he's stuffed us around all he has. I still don't wish it on him. So I've given him the chance to do the right thing by us, get this finished by the end of next week. And if he doesn't, then yeah, I will take things further. But we've given him a chance to, you know, get things done right for us, and stop anything further going on for him. So that's where we're at with all this. What are you going to say?
Oh, we still haven't heard boo after sending that, so...
Yeah, we know he's seen it because we sent the email, we sent text to say that we've sent the email, and we've seen that he's read the text.
Like we said, really big lack of communication. Just none, really.
Yeah. So that's where we're at now. Right below what you'd do in this position, if this was you. I know it's easier to say what you'd do when you're not in the position yourself, but I'm still curious to see what people have got to say. I'm
curious if anyone's been through the same thing before, and what process they went through, and how far do you take it, and things like that.
Alright, until next time, we'll keep you updated, so keep watching this space, and we'll keep you updated. Take care.
See ya.